All right, fight fans, welcome back. We got to jump right back in, right?
Yeah,
Back at the deep end. This time, UFC's 2024 finale, huh?
big one.
Big one to finish off the year. And, wow, I'm still reeling, honestly, from some of those fights.
Yeah. Wild night, huh?
Seriously unexpected, a lot of knockouts. Just, wow.
Big statements.
Big statement wins. So much to talk about, so many questions about where it's all going to go from here.
Absolutely. Futures on the line.
Yeah. All right, let's just get right into it. Biggest shocker of the night, got to be Joaquin Buckley over Colby Covington.
Yeah, total curveball.
Did anyone predict that? I mean, Covington's been at the top, right?
Yeah. Perennial contender.
For years.
Mm-hmm.
Known for just grinding guys down.
Yeah, that relentless pressure.
Yeah, his wrestling, just wearing you down.
And he usually does it so effectively.
Yeah.
But man, Buckley found a way, right?
I mean, that really just messed up the welterweight picture,
Oh, yeah. Big shakeup in the rankings.
It really did, yeah. So Buckley, his speed, footwork, it was phenomenal. He completely nullified Covington.
Right. Kept him at a distance. Picked his shots. And you saw it. Round one, he was stuffing those takedowns.
The takedowns that Covington is famous for.
Yep. Completely shut him down.
And I'm watching, especially those first couple rounds, Buckley is moving differently. I've never seen him like that.
Agility, precision, different fighter.
And he's landing these clean counters, and you could just see on Covington's face the frustration building.
Yeah, getting to him.
Absolutely getting to him.
You remember that moment in the second?
Yeah.
Buckley lands a jab, immediately pivots out as Covington tries to shoot in. Textbook.
Oh, I remember. Beautiful counter wrestling.
It was beautiful.
And that cut, man, over Covington's eye.
Brutal. Just brutal.
Nasty.
Yeah.
So statement win, definitely. And now everyone's wondering, all right, what's next for Buckley?
Yeah, the big question, right?
He even called out Kamaru Usman. Usman was in the crowd that night.
He was there, yeah.
What do you think, what are the challenges Buckley needs to overcome to actually become champ? And someone like Usman, too much too soon?
Well, he's shown he can hang at the top, right?
Yeah.
But championship level, those guys, they're different.
Yeah.
Adaptability, weathering storms, that extra gear,
Yeah.
If Buckley wants that belt, he's got to prove he can dig deep.
Yeah.
Overcome adversity against the best of the best.
Against the best. Yeah. Usman, former champ, resilience, the ultimate test.
Yeah, for sure.
Maybe big test.
Yeah.
But, Leon Edwards is still out there, still the champ.
That's right.
Ian Machado. Gary, who he was supposed to fight originally.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So many interesting potential matchups.
So many options, right? And each one
yeah.
brings something different. Edwards, well-rounded striker, takedown defense. Gary, rising star, ton of hype. It'll be interesting to see what his team decides.
It will. So Buckley's win, not the only upset of the night.
No way. No way.
Cub Swanson, 41 years old, delivers this incredible knockout against Billy Quarantillo.
Yeah.
And he hinted at retirement, right?
Before the fight.
So it was like this added emotional weight, to the whole thing.
Yeah, added layer to it. And Swanson, just a masterclass.
Yeah.
Maybe not the speed he once had.
Yeah.
But the experience, the fight IQ on full display.
It was on display.
Picking his moments, beautiful combinations, and that knockout.
Vintage Cub.
Vintage Cub.
So can you break down that knockout sequence for us? What did you actually see there?
Classic boxing combo.
Yeah.
Left hook to the body, straight right to the chin.
Ah, nice.
Quarantillo expecting the hook upstairs. Drops his guard. Wide open for that right hand.
The timing, it was perfect.
Perfect. Timing, precision, textbook example of how experience, ring generalship, overcomes youth and athleticism.
It was a perfect ending to what might have been his final fight.
Yeah, who knows?
If he does decide to hang up the gloves, he left us with a moment.
Unforgettable storybook ending to a legendary career.
Yeah.
But even if it wasn't his last, just a reminder of why Cub Swanson's a fan favorite.
Oh, for sure.
Warrior, never say die attitude.
All right, let's shift gears a bit. Manel Cape.
Yeah.
Hard-fought victory over Bruno Silva.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just so dynamic, constantly looking for that finish.
Oh, he is force of nature, that flyweight division, that power, speed, aggression, makes him a threat to anyone.
Yeah.
But what really, it stood out to me, the resilience.
Oh, yeah.
Those low blows.
Yeah, tough to take, demoralizing.
Multiple. And he just kept coming, refusing to quit.
It's true. So impressive. Even started calling for that title shot during the fight.
He did.
That's confidence.
Believes in himself, and he's got every right to.
Yeah.
But is he ready for another shot at Pantoja?
That's the question, right?
Yeah. Pantoja, current champ, already beat him in his debut. Cape has something to prove.
Yeah, he does. The one to destroy Pantoja. Those were his words, you know.
He said it.
So what needs to happen for him to get that title shot and then to actually back up those words?
Keep winning. That's number one.
Got to keep winning.
Another impressive win, maybe two, puts him in title contention.
Yeah.
But also, he needs to show that he's evolved since that loss to Pantoja, addressed his weaknesses, refined his game plan.
Yeah.
You know, ready to face Pantoja with a whole new level of confidence and skill.
He's definitely a fighter to watch in 2025.
Yeah.
Now, let's talk about a fighter who's been quietly putting together this impressive run, Yoel Alvarez. His win over Drakkar Klose, I mean, brutal.
That flying knee was something else.
Brutal.
And to think Alvarez has a 100% finishing rate in his wins. That's not just winning, it's making a statement.
Every time he steps into the octagon.
Every time.
So walk us through it, that knockout.
Yeah.
What made it so effective?
Okay, so picture this. Alvarez, perfectly timed flying knee as Klose is pressing forward. Flush on the jaw, Klose just crumbles. Follow-up punches, almost unnecessary. But what's interesting is how Alvarez seems to use his opponent's aggression against them, turns their momentum into his weapon.
Interesting. You know, a lot of fighters, they're so focused on outpointing their opponent.
Yeah. Playing it safe.
Playing it safe. But Alvarez is a different breed. He is in there to end the fight.
Oh, absolutely. And that creates a whole other level of pressure for the other guy.
Oh, for sure.
It's like a psychological edge, you know? Knowing that Alvarez is always hunting for the finish, that's got to weigh on you.
Yeah, it's got to be in the back of your mind. So he's a dark horse in that lightweight division, would you say?
Definitely a dark horse.
Could you see him down the line as a title contender?
He's got all the tools, size, reach, diverse striking, and that killer instinct. But the lightweight division...
Yeah, it's stacked.
Stacked with talent. He needs to keep racking up those wins against tougher and tougher competition to really solidify that contender spot.
Definitely a fighter we'll be keeping our eye on. Now, let's talk Canadian fighters. They had a little bit of a mixed bag this year, huh?
Highs and lows for Canadian MMA.
Yeah.
Saw some veterans like Jasuda Vicious, Robertson continue climbing, but also setbacks and new talent emerging.
Right. So Jamie Lynn Horth, she fought on this card against Miranda Maverick. Wasn't her night, but she showed a lot of grit. Give us some context on the overall performance of Canadian fighters this year.
Well, if you just look at the numbers, you know, not the strongest showing for Canadians in terms of win percentage in 2024.
Yeah.
But I think it's important to look beyond that, consider the individual journeys. Someone like Horth, she's still early in her career, gaining that valuable experience.
Yeah. So looking ahead to 2025, what are your thoughts on the future of Canadian MMA? Any promising prospects we should be watching?
Things are looking up, I'd say. Veterans like Jasuda Vicious, Robertson, they're legitimate contenders. And you have these rising stars, Serhi Saidi, Charles Jourdain, they're making noise.
Saidi, yeah, his first UFC win in Edmonton. That was big.
It was.
And Jourdain, that submission victory over Victor Henry, impressive.
Earlier this year, yeah.
Don't forget about Mike Malott either. He had that setback against Aubin Mercier in February, but bounced back with a big win in Edmonton.
Exactly, resilience. And there are several others knocking on the door of the rankings. I think we're going to see some breakthroughs in 2025.
Exciting times for Canadian MMA fans, for sure. Speaking of exciting fighters, Sean Woodson closed out 2024 with that impressive win over Padilla, went undefeated this year, and he's really starting to come into his own as a featherweight contender.
Woodson is a puzzle for a lot of fighters.
Yeah.
Tall, long, uses his reach so well. Striking is crisp, precise, shown he can finish on the feet and on the ground.
Yeah. His win over Alex Caceres back in June, real turning point for him, I think. Showed he can hang with those veterans.
Oh, huge win. Caceres, crafty vet, Woodson outclassed him. 3 wins this year, including Caceres. He's putting the division on notice.
Yeah, he is. All right, let's move on to another fighter who had a stellar year, Felipe Lima. He's on this incredible 14-fight win streak, and he looked dominant against Miles Johns.
Dominant. Lima's relentless, that pressure fighting style, incredible cardio, just keeps coming forward, wearing opponents down with his pace and volume. It's really remarkable to see that level of dominance sustained over such a long stretch.
He's expected to move back down to bantamweight next year.
Interesting.
Which is going to be interesting. You think he can carry that momentum into a new weight class?
That's the big question, right? Bantamweight, it's a shark tank, full of talent.
Oh, yeah.
But Lima's style, tough for anyone to deal with. If you can make the weight cut, maintain that power, stamina, he could be a force at 135.
Definitely going to be watching that closely. And last but certainly not least, Miranda Maverick, quietly becoming one of the most dangerous in the women's flyweight division.
She's a problem. Well-rounded, constantly striving to improve. Solid striking, strong grappling, always looking for the finish. Her win over Horth, fourth in a row. She's now 6-1 in her last 7.
She's been calling out ranked opponents, and I think she deserves that shot. What's it going to take for her to crack that top 15 and start making a run for the title?
Consistency is key in this sport. She's on a great run, needs to keep building that momentum. A win over a top 15 opponent, that's a statement. Puts her right in the mix.
Definitely a fighter to watch in 2025. This card, I mean, what a way to end 2024. So many incredible performances,
Yeah.
And now so many questions about what's next. We saw potential title contenders, Buckley, Alvarez, veterans reminding us why they're legends, Cub Swanson,
For sure.
rising stars, making their case for those bigger fights in 25, Woodson, Maverick.
Absolutely.
It's exciting stuff.
It is. And let's not forget about those international fighters making waves.
Oh, yeah.
Cape, prime example.
Yeah.
That blend of skill, charisma, fan favorite, for sure.
And his post-fight interview, classic Cape, full of that confidence. A little bit of trash talk for the champ.
Oh, yeah.
You think he's ready for another shot at Pantoja?
He's making a case for it, for sure.
Yeah.
But, flyweight division, packed. Brandon Royval's coming off a win. Matt Schnell, always a threat.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see how those rankings shake out in the next few months.
It really will. And, I feel like the UFC is at this turning point with new contenders emerging in almost every division.
What's so fascinating is how the sport is constantly evolving.
It is.
Fighters from all over the world, different styles, backgrounds, bringing something new to the octagon.
Absolutely. So what does that mean? What does the future hold for the UFC in 2025? Will we see new champions? Will we see those established veterans hold on?
That's the beauty of it, right? You just never know. Complete shakeup of the rankings or the current champs solidify their dominance. Who knows?
It's going to be an exciting year. So what should fans be looking for in 2025? Any bold predictions, from you?
Bold predictions. I think we're going to see more international fighters break through, challenge for those titles.
Okay.
I think we're also going to see a continued emphasis on well-rounded fighters, those who can strike, grapple, and finish the fight from anywhere.
Yeah, that seems to be the trend for sure. I'm thinking we're going to see some amazing matchups in 2025. I'm already getting excited.
This finale really set the stage for an incredible year.
It did.
There's that sense of anticipation, excitement for what's to come.
It's a great time to be a UFC fan.
It is.
So to all you fight fans out there, keep your eyes peeled for these rising stars, follow those storylines, get ready for another year of nonstop action in the UFC. We'll be back soon to break it all down for you. Until then, keep training, keep learning, and keep that fighting spirit alive.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
That's a wrap for this deep dive. Catch you next time, fight fans.